Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of West Ham Fan TV's Post-Match Pint, the only West Ham United post-match short show on the internet. We've just come back from White Hart Lane, where it was Tottenham Hotspur 1, West Ham 2. Finally, something positive to talk about, boys.
Yeah, two wins in a row. Obviously in the FA Cup last week, and yeah, great win yesterday. Great 3 points at Tottenham. Difficult place to go, especially like with the season we're having. I mean, other teams would probably go there with a bit more confidence, but yeah, it's a great 3 points, and I think there was a lot of happy West Ham fans yesterday.
I'll tell you what, they don't like losing to us, do they? They don't like it at all.
No, as much as we're not rivals and all of this stuff, like I said, time and time again, that gets proved wrong. They don't care about us. Like, that hurt them. That really hurt them. And I love it. I love every fucking second of it. Beautiful stuff.
No, I agree, mate. It was. I mean, it was. Listen, it's a win, right? And I know, like, it's obviously other seasons. It's really nice to get a win over them, but at the moment, we just need wins, and it really didn't matter if it was Burnley, Tottenham, Arsenal. Could have been anyone yesterday, and you could just feel the relief coming out of that stadium. Like, finally, we see some fucking fight, and that is what we've been missing all season.
It's not that. It's the way we won the game as well. A last-minute winner, you know, with a player that really left the club last week, had nothing to, you know, might not have even, shouldn't even been involved by what everyone was saying last week. But he comes on, he gets the winner. He had 3 touches. His first one, he chested it down. He's shot. You know, we've got the corner, and from the corner, he's tapped it in. And what a substitution! It's a manager's dream.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly what you want, and that is, you know, last week obviously he'd been released. As far as everyone had said, he'd been released. I've done a video saying he'd been released. It looked like they was just working at them, and then somehow yesterday he found himself back in the starting lineup, and that is the way you want. If you're going to leave a football club, that's the way you got to leave it.
You mean in the squad? You mean in the squad?
In the squad, yeah. But
yeah,
that's how you leave a football club. You leave a football club by giving you all until the very fucking end, until you're told you're not there anymore.
Yeah, and well, let's hope that he does get in the starting lineup. This is what I'm interested. We'll talk about what comes next a bit more, but it'll be very interesting where he goes from here. But to me, he sort of cemented why he should be first choice and why we shouldn't be looking at Tatty. As much as I thought Tatty's all-round game was good yesterday, people coming into the club from other leagues and automatically being first choice, that don't sit right with me. You've got a guy now, I believe, is our top goal scorer this season in the league. So go with him. And then make him and Tatty, like starting at the game, I liked how he set us up, Nuno. Do you know what I mean? With Pablo and Tatty up top. The 2 in midfield rather than the 3. We had Fernandez and Souček, and I just think all round I was happy with the start of it, the approach. I think he got it right, Nuno.
Yeah, I think so. I think he got it right initially, and I even think the subs were good. I think there was people screaming out for Callum Wilson a bit earlier from when he came on. Obviously, a lot of people didn't even realise he was on. But a lot of people didn't even realise he was still at the club. You know, when people were talking about who's on the bench and all this sort of thing. So a lot of people were screaming out for him, and it was he's left it too late. He's left it too late. He's left it too late. And then obviously he makes a sub, and I think that was perfect substitutes. But I don't
know about the Rodriguez over Potts. I don't agree with that one. I won't agree. I don't agree with the sub.
Sometimes you need to get someone that gets a foot on the ball. Then like when you see it yesterday, and you see, sometimes you just need to get someone with a bit of experience to put a foot on the ball and slow the game down. You know what I mean? Like we was doing a lot of, especially second half, a lot of, we was getting a bit nervy in there, and the ball was coming back a lot. We was giving it away quite a bit going up the pitch, and sometimes you need to just slow it down and all that. And I think that was his thinking yesterday, right? But I'm not going to give him too much credit because I never know what the geezer's fucking thinking, to be quite honest with you. He could have been thinking something completely different, but I think sometimes, like, instead of the energy, you just need someone to, to take control of the ball and slow everything down and fucking keep hold of it and, play it safe. But, look, they both worked. You know, they both come on pretty similar times. I think Rodriguez come on a bit earlier, but you know, when he came on, he had 3 touches, chest down, shot a goal, and the next one he's tapping it in. Perfect. Can't complain.
Yeah. I mean, even when you look at like the first half, I think Tottenham started better than us. After about 10, 15 minutes, we sort of took control of the game. And once we scored that goal, you know, all right, it was a deflection off of Van der Ven, but some of it was done well. The way we spread it like across the pitch to get some of it in that position, you know, and if he hits it and it's on target, it's got a chance of going in. And
I think that was going in. I think that was going in. Like, you look at the trajectory of the ball, they've obviously given it not as an own goal because it was on target, and it was going in. And Somerville, as I was saying, one of our best players. Yeah, again, one of the most important players. Like, it's just that, and he seems to be fixing it now. It's 3 games in a row he stuck the ball in the back of the net. You know, obviously one got unjustly ruled out against Nottingham Forest, but to me, the talk of him being rubbish and all this, you can't say it. Just his all-round play. He's one of our best players, and then imagine he gets the finishing there. He's our best. If he can stick it in the back of the net consistently, he's our best player because he's quicker than Bowen. He can do more defensive work than Bowen, right? So if he has the finishing, if he starts matching, even coming close to Bowen's finishing, he's our best player, hands down.
I think that he's definitely when he's in form, he's a threat, and you see that yesterday in the confidence after the goal. He got that ball. Tottenham fans were nervous, even their players were nervous every time he got ball. That's why they invited him on. And you look at the chances we had. I mean, Tati should have scored that header at the back post. Mavropanos had a good header that was a good save by their keeper. You know, we had a goal ruled out for offside. You know, that's the only thing that was worrying me. That when we went in only 1-0 up at half time, I'm thinking, are we going to regret not putting one of them chances away? You know,
we almost.
And then you
did.
see the way the second half went. We weren't really in the second half. We was backs to the wall. Tottenham were, you know, up for it. They made a couple of switches. I was actually pleased. I said to Dan yesterday when they took that Archie Gray off at half time because I thought he was the only one in their midfield that was putting tackles in.
That's right, yeah,
and getting stuck in.
Shout to Liam here. I think he's a Newcastle fan. 499 Super Chat says Wilson is the best 9 we had since Shearer. He's obviously lost pace, but you can see he's still clinical. You need that in a dogfight. Hope you stay up.
Do you know what, right? And I said this a couple of weeks ago. Goal scorers are fucking very hard to find. And when you do find them at a young age, you know, clubs like us don't keep them for long or we don't get them at all. Right? It's the rarest thing you'll find a natural goal scorer. And at 33 or 23 and all that, the same thing counts is they know where to find the back of the net. And I know obviously, you know, he's lost a yard of pace and all that, but you see some of the goals he scored for us. The ones at Bournemouth is, you know, they was 2 really good. They were 2 of the best strikers goals I think I've seen for years and years. And that one yesterday was just pure instinct. You know what I mean? Like, he was really disappointed with not scoring with his first touch. You could see that. But, you know, when that ball bounced in around the box, which we haven't done enough, we haven't got people with that predatory instinct in that box that gets in them places, that makes themselves, you know, available in the right place at the right time. And that's what goal scorers do. And that's what he did yesterday. And he was just he's just one of them people that if the ball falls in the box and it falls to him 9 times out of 10, he's hitting the back of the net. And you can't buy that. And there's definitely no one we've got that's been like that for years. So like the fact that we even still are talking about letting him go, I think is madness.
I think we got to give Ollie Scholes credit, you know, for his corners. You know, I was saying yesterday, he obviously did his homework on Vicario because Vicario flaps at corners, and you could see he was trying to put him on Vicario because he knew he'd flap at him, and it'd just be chaos in the box, and that's what he was trying to do, and it worked. So Ollie Scholes, you know, massive credit for him because we've been so crap at taking set pieces, delivery, you know, since he's been on them. And I said to Jace, like, on the watch, I think he's probably our best set piece.
Even from the other side, mate, Somerville's corners were on point as well. You know, they was hitting the target. As you said, they've obviously done their homework. They know where, put it in that 6-yard box, and it's going to cause mayhem. And that's exactly what it's done. And it's, you know, we got the winner, and it's a perfect time to score. You know, things went our way yesterday. And another week, that Ollie Scholes handball would have been given by VAR. It would have been given. You know,
Someone's saying we got away with it. I don't. That's not. His hands in a natural position for a defender. You're shielding, right? You're trying to stop the player getting across you, so you put your hand out there. That's normal for a defender. That's as natural as it gets.
It was pretty similar. If you remember the penalty we got in the European Cup final against Fiorentina, it's pretty similar. But when you watch it back, yes, Scholes' his hand is in a natural position. He's obviously trying to get his hands on Gallagher. So look, it's on another weekend that goes against us. It's just that's the bit of luck we need. When you're down there, things like that don't go for you. So we needed that bit of luck.
I mean that is the difference. Is you need something to kick. And we said this the other day that the QPR win. I know it was messy, but you see the way Somerville played in that game. He played with a lot more freedom in that game, and he done that thing at the end which set up the Tatty goal. And it just seems to be building confidence, and that's what you need. This team has been lacked of confidence, right? And yesterday it went the same way. We played really well. We got on top. We battered them. Their goalkeeper made a couple of really cracking saves, and there was one with Tatty put one over the bar, and he should have scored. It could have been 2-3, maybe 4-0 at halftime. And Areola made a good save as well. But it's that same story. We've seen it week after week after week, and we see it against Forest. You go 1-0 up, you can't get the second. All of a sudden, you find yourself backs against the wall because I think that's a natural progress. Because when they come out second half, I think Nuno sort of said to them, hold back a bit. Don't wear yourself out because we're going to get caught here. And you could see Somerville wasn't, he wasn't as free as he was first half. That was a mistake for me, but. It's the same thing happened. We conceded an equaliser, and then everyone around is going, we know what's going to happen now. We've seen it week after week after week after week. And we've had chances where we've blew it away ourselves. We've had games where we've been, I think we was robbed against Forest, and that is the luck you have when you're down there. And something has to change. And then yesterday we get the goal. They're looking for any reason to disallow it. They're looking at offside and all that. And people remember going, he's going to disallow it because we know our luck. And he didn't. Now,
that would have been heartbreaking if that got disallowed.
Seeing it on the telly, there's nothing. There was no offside. There was no. Vicario wasn't even touched. He's come out. He's flapped it. He's missed it. The only thing that I was worried about is he struck as it's bounced up to Callum Wilson. It might have brushed his hand or something. That's the only thing. Before I've seen the replay, that's all I was thinking of. But then as soon as I see the replay, I thought, there's no way they can't give this goal. There's nothing wrong with it. Even the commentator said it. There's nothing wrong with it. So, yeah, but I agree. When Tottenham equalised yesterday, I thought the same. I thought there's only going to be one winner now, and it was only going to be Spurs because I thought the way we've been playing and the way we've chucked away games this season, even though how poor Spurs are, and that is a poor Spurs side as well. Let's not.
Yeah, honestly, I think they'd have worked on that side we just played. Of all the teams we played, I think they're the worst we've played all season. I really do.
You can see why their fans are upset, and they're not happy with what's going on the pitch. A bit like same as us. But yeah, that's down to them to sort out. We've got our own shit to sort out. But one thing I would say, I got to give my props to the back four yesterday. Wan-Bissaka, Mavropanos, Todibo, and Scholes. Todibo especially, I thought had a brilliant game. And Mavropanos said it yesterday. Todibo's the ball playing defender who wants to get it down and take it out with his feet. Mavropanos is the no nonsense, sticks his head in now and just wants to smash it upfield when he has to. And that complements two good centre backs that can play together. And Wan-Bissaka coming back in, as I said, Walker Peters done nothing wrong, but Wan-Bissaka, he just gives you that bit more on the defensive side. I'll get more confidence with him. So yeah, no, fair play. And of course, Thomas Souček as well. Come back into the starting lineup. His passing yesterday was on point. Nothing stupid. Simple balls. Twice he played Bowen through with a one-touch through ball. And, yeah, it was brilliant. It was brilliant. And Pablo as well. He had a bit of a mixed game, but he wins the ball in the hair. So now Areola's got someone to aim for, and he's got Tatty to play off of him. So, yeah, it's starting to click. And we just got to hope that it clicks enough that we can find a way out of this season. Because you remember the Great Escape season, we was 10 points adrift in like February. And we're 5 points now, so it can be done. It can be achieved. We just got to hope now that other teams around us lose, but all we can do is win our games and hope.
There's still, as I said before, there's a lot of football still to play. But what has given me more encouragement is the fact that 7 points is a lot of points when you can't win games. You know what I mean? Like you don't know when the next win's coming. All of a sudden, we've won 2 in a row. We're going into Sunderland next week. They've been a bit mixed lately, Sunderland. I know they've had a couple of players missing from AFCON.
I think they just won. I think they just beat Palace.
They beat Palace 2-1, yeah, but Palace are Palace are really poor at the minute. But, do you know what the worst thing about yesterday is, right? And it's because they're so fucking cocky, right? I heard all up to the weekend, till I went to the game. You're going to get battered Saturday. You're going to get battered Saturday. We're not playing very well, and we can't wait to play you because it's going to get our season back on fucking track. Blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, you win the game. You've won your cup final. Well done. Enjoy the championship. I'll tell you what, right? If we'd have won 2 more games, that'd have been fucking banging trouble, that team, because they have got so many injuries. And fucking that club and that team at the minute is fucking bad. I mean, bad. They are lucky.
Mate, their next 5 games ain't easy. Take away their Champions League game against Dortmund in the week. They've got Burnley away next Saturday. Not going to be easy. And then they've got to play, I think, United, City, Arsenal, and Newcastle. So,
Imagine they lost all them 5 and we got 4 wins and then we left them down there.
That'd be beautiful. It'd be beautiful. So, apparently they're like indecisive over sacking Frank. So yeah, it could happen. Like I just look at us. I'm enjoying the win. I think to what you said earlier, Nick, is it wouldn't have made a difference who we beat. I slightly disagree because I think the fact it's them has given the fan base an even bigger lift. It's made it sweeter to get one over on a team that we hate into the fan base. It brought an air of positivity about the fan base and the club, but I'm not getting carried away. That's the key, right? Because they are, like I said, the worst side I've seen us play against. I need to see us now go and play against a decent Sunderland side, right? They're better than us now at our ground, which we're not great at. And then see, because that was the worst Spurs side, but that was narrow. That was fine margins to get out over the line. That was that one last little minute moment. We still did the same thing. We went a goal up and we sat back and went defensive and invited them on. And if we do that against other teams, there's a good chance we're not going to get them opportunities. So I'm not getting to the point where I'm carried away. I need to see the next game and how we play.
Sunderland at home is going to be a bigger test than what Tottenham was yesterday, I think. It's our home form's not great, so we need to start picking up wins at home as well as getting results on the road as well. So it's going to be an interesting game next week. And as I said, if we got the early kickoff next week, if we win, it puts the pressure on Forest going into their game. But we've just got to worry about us, make sure we do get the 3 points next Saturday against Sunderland.
I mean, that's it. There's no point in going out and getting a win like that, and then next week you turn up and it all goes back to the same. You've got to build on the momentum. I know it's fucking hard. It's hard to drag yourself out of this, but it's achievable now. They're within touching distance. One more win and one more loss for Forest, and it's one win. And that
sorry, mate.
And that's what it would have been if we'd have beat Forest. And everyone was saying that was the game that relegated us and all that. Get back within touching distance of them and keep on winning your games.
I don't think it's going to happen, right, without some signings in. And that's why this January transfer window is huge. Because that win, right, is a message that, do you know what? We do have a chance if we invest. Like, there is a chance. Let's actually strengthen this team, put some money in it, and not have it to the point of where it's such fine margins if we win. Have us going into these games where we have the players that can make it more comfortable, make us just a better side overall. So, to me, we still have to sign some players. Obviously, we're still bringing on Kilman off the bench, who I think we need to replace. Paqueta, I think, is done. He didn't play. So I think he'll surely be gone or just not be playing again. So we need to potentially replace him. Like, just add some more quality in this side, and we've got a chance, 100%.
You know what?
It's going to be a big boost. I'll say, sorry, mate. It's going to be a big boost having Diouf back next week as well. I don't think he comes straight back into the starting lineup. I think Ollie Scholes deserves to keep his place, but it'll be a big boost to have him back on the bench as an option to come on.
Yeah. Do you know what? I just wanted to touch on Pekatar really, because obviously he didn't play yesterday. There's all these rumours flying about. A lot of people are starting to start sort of like the rumblings, and I know you spoke about it a little bit, Dan, but I wanted to let Ryan have a say about maybe Sullivan putting it out there and chucking him under the bus so they can sell him because they've already spent the money and he wants the money back and all that sort of thing. And he sort of says to him, look, start playing up a little bit and pretend you're going on strike and all that, and we'll see you back to Brazil this month, and then they can't moan. Do you think there's any there's any truth in that rumour?
No, I mean, we spoke about it on Friday Night Pint, really.
I guess.
I mean, look, the thing is with the Paqueta thing, it's getting a bit boring now. Like, if he wants to go, let him go. You're always going to get different sides of the stories, because Paqueta, if Paqueta does want to go, he don't want to look like the bad person, but Sullivan wants to make him look like the bad person. We've just got to get as much money as we can for him. If we can get it in January, if this team wants to offer 40 million, 45, take it. Just get as much as we can, and then hopefully we can invest it, because people say that we can't replace Paqueta in this window. We can. He's not an hard player to replace. I don't know what some people see in him. Some people see him as this Brazilian god that turns up week in, week out and wins games on his own. He don't. I like him, and if I had the option to keep him for the rest of the season, I probably would. But if he wants out, let's go out and get someone else in, because, as I said, he's not going to be that hard to replace.
I think he's one of them players because of who he is and what he's, Brazil's number 10 and all that sort of thing, and we've got him. I think the myth of him is bigger than the actual. I think the idea of having him is better than the actual fucking, the reality of having him. It sounds good on paper, and it was like, obviously, like a lot of clubs were after him. We beat Arsenal to his signature. Tottenham wanted him. Newcastle wanted him, and he came to us. And people found that it was a big coup at the time. But I think the myth of him is it's bigger than the reality of having him. And I don't think he's lived up to the reality.
To answer your question, I think it is clear that he does want to leave. A lot of reports that he agreed terms with Flamengo. Like, he obviously wants to go there. Now, whether you believe he's on strike or he's really got back issues, then that's a different thing. Like, that's a different thing. But I don't believe for a second that Paqueta's like, I'm quite happy to stay for the rest of the season. Sullivan's like, no, we want to sell you. Like, you got to go. Like, I think Sullivan's probably, yeah, like, you can't trust him. He probably does want to sell him, right? But I do think that Paqueta is trying to get a move. Like, Flamengo want him. He's like, yeah, they want me. I want to go. I'm dying to go back to Brazil. Like, Of course he is. It's just crazy, to think that he wants to.
It's one of them. If he wants to go back for family reasons, if he wants to raise his kids in Brazil, then I've got no issues with that. I've got no issues with that at all. I'd rather him go back to Brazil than go and sign for another English club, because then if he does, then it's a bigger kick in the teeth. But
the thing is, he said he was going to give us the season, didn't he? Like, earlier on, he said he's going to stay and give us the season and help the team. And then all of a sudden, January's come, Flamengo's come calling, and he's like, never mind.
Yeah, that's what he don't fancy the relegation battle, does he?
That's it. But he owes us. Like, he should be. You know what I mean? He should have something more about him. Say, do you know what? Yeah, I want to go back to Brazil. I'm going to give him another 5 months, work my ass off, and help this club and leave the right way. But he's just like.
That's why I respect Callum Wilson a bit more, because he could easily have turned around and said, "No, I'm not playing." Yesterday, but he's turned up with a team. He's come on. He's done something. You see in his celebration, he is pissed off. You see with his interaction with Nuno after the game, it was frosty. Of course it is. This geezer's freezing him out. You know what I mean? Like, but he come on and he done what he's paid to do, what he loves to do: score goals and win games. The difference is with Paqueta. I mean, I don't know if he had a back injury. Apparently, he had a back injury yesterday. I don't buy all that. I think he just don't want to play. So
I think it's got to the point, especially after we won yesterday. I don't think he's going to be able to be sustainable to come back in the team. I can't see him being able to come. It's going to make it toxic. You know what I mean? Like, you've got a good vibe around at the minute. You know, a lot of people are attributing him getting out the squad and, you know, him being frozen out the squad to, you know, actually fucking G'ing up the team a little bit. And, you know, it's to the point now where, you know, what happens when he does come back? All he's going to get is stick off the fans. It's not going to help anyone at this stage of the season, I don't think. And we've just seen that we can do it without him.
Yeah, I think on Callum Wilson as well. We mentioned Callum Wilson, like he's dying for this goal record, right? In the Premier League, the 100 goals. He's dying to get to 100 goals in the Premier League. This talk about him going Celtic, I can't see it. I think he would happily stay if Nuno says, you've got the same chance to start for this team as Tatty does, as Pablo does. Right? You have the same opportunity, right? Keep scoring. You're in my plans, right? You've just scored for us. Next week, you're in. Right, because you've just scored. If he starts, he would stay because he wants that. Like, and if we don't give it to him, if another Prem team comes along, best believe, and if we release him like he was asking for his release, apparently, like, you don't think that other Prem teams, maybe Forest might go for him, maybe Leeds might go for him. Like,
I think it's perfect for Leeds, and I think it's scored the goals. Yeah.
Well, they're playing a 2 up top at the moment, isn't they? Yeah. So
well, that's what we played yesterday.
Yeah, that's so it's perfect. That Tatty and Wilson. I would drop Pablo. I'm nothing against Pablo. I think he's going to take more time. But Tatty and Wilson in a 2 up top, I think would be perfect because Tatty has got that energy and that work rate. You know what I mean? And that bit of pace. And then Wilson's got experience, knows where to be, the movement of the ball, right place, right time. That's a match, mate. And that Nuno should be salivating over that. There's goals there. Do it.
Yeah. Yeah, if I was a manager and I knew that I had that sort of player that I could call upon or start or even have on the bench, why not? Especially when you're in a relegation battle. So hopefully they can sit down, sort things out over the next week, say, look, stay to the end of the season, you know, help keep us up. I think Wilson knows that the fans appreciate what he's doing. You know, they feel a bit sorry for him. You see the reaction yesterday. And yeah, it'd be good. I agree. I think him and Tatty could form some sort of partnership that would get us out of this and win us games.
Louis says he's on 93 goals now. I'm sure I'd like to get the next 7 in the Premier League. I'll take 7 in 1-0 wins all day long. Thank you very much.
Yeah, like, you think about between now and the end of this, he'll be fucking fighting tooth and nail every single game. The closer he gets, mate, he's going to be doing everything he can to score goals, right? That's that extra motivation that other players, when they go, do you know what? Whether I score a goal or I don't, I get paid. That's a motivation to say 100 goals. That's a great achievement. I want it. So play him. He's going to be he's probably going to be like the hungriest player on the pitch, really. It's a no-brainer.
I want to ask you two a serious question, right? Even if we stay up this year, right? Do you think it'd be worse next year?
It depends.
Well, I mean, it's been bad this season. Can it be worse than this season? I think it'd be better because Nuno with a pre-season, maybe a few more coaches. I think it'd be how much better, I don't know. But I don't think we'll be, if we stay up, I think we'll be a bit better. Depends what we do in the summer, but I don't think we'll go.
Yeah. It depends on the investment as well, like, because this squad needs a lot of money chucked at it. A lot of money. Even in January, we need more signings. Like, we're at that point now where I'd rather just take a few loans in just to see us through the season. You know, we ain't got to go out and spend another 100 million if we can get a few loans in just to help us out. Players that need to play football if they're on the verge of playing for their country in the World Cup. But yeah, I mean, I don't even really want to talk about next season. Yeah, I just want to get this season. I'd rather concentrate on this season than worry. I'll worry about next season. I just worry to myself that, you know, the more he gets away with it, the more he fucking pushes it. And I think you've been seeing that. See, you know, he's
do you think we'll be worse next season if we stay up?
There's so much dead wood here. And I don't know what we get for the dead wood. There's obviously fucking rumblings about the money. There's no money available, and if we're fucking skint and we've broken FFP, so we could get a points deduction next year and all of that sort of thing. And I'm just baffled how we've found ourselves in this position. To be quite honest with you, paying too many poor players big money. That's how we've got in this position. and the money we've spent or got in for for players and all that, how we've spent all of that and ended up with a squad like this, I've got no idea.
Yeah.
And
this is why.
Well, it could, because obviously, like next year, Paquetá will be gone, right? They'll be looking to move on people like Kilman. They'll be looking to move on probably people like Mavropanos. I've got a feeling that if a big come in for like Wan-Bissaka, they'd fucking consider selling him and things like that. You know what I mean? And it's one of them ones where I worry for the future, because I've seen the squad such stripped down now, and I can't see a situation where it gets any better, because you'll have people like Wilson leaving and you'll just be left with the same people that you've got now and a couple moving up. We had it this year. We've moved people on loan, which is fucking madness.
But the thing is,
this is like, he's going to get away with it again this year. Like, part of me, I know it sounds mad, but part of me, like, we don't deserve to go down as fans. The club, for all the shit we've had to go through as fans, we don't deserve to be fucking suffering like this, right? But if anyone deserves to go down, it's him, because he thinks he can get away with it year after year after year. He thinks he's done his job. He thinks he's fulfilled his promise, because he promised us Champions League and we went and won the Conference League. He thinks he's done here. He thinks that's all he's got to do. And he thinks he can keep on skimming it every year to pay less and less out and to take more and more out of this money, asset strip us, right, and get away with it, because he's always reliant on three worst teams in the Premier League. He's come unstuck this year because Sunderland's come up and Leeds have come up and fought, and he's put us in a fucking mire. And I think he's come a bit unstuck. And if we ended up getting out of it, it just worries me about what his attitude will be next year. I will get away with it this year because there'll be three shitter teams coming up rather than Sunderland and Leeds, and it worries me. It worries me about him getting away with it over and over again. We desperately need someone to come in there and fucking sort this club out from top to bottom. And I don't think it's going to happen.
This is why, like I said, whether you agree with, I think, how the protests happen, like whatever you want to do, we got to keep the pressure on Sullivan. Whatever happens, keep the pressure on him. I know they're doing a 15-minute walk in. Wait till 50 minutes and walk into the Sunderland, walking on the Sunderland game. Whether you agree with it or not, whatever happens, right? We can't give up on chasing this rat out of our club, right? He has to. We can't go into, like what Nicky said there. You go into another season, like it's so evident. I read that article there was the Mail Plus. They did an article and they was interviewing like people who work for the club behind the scenes, and it is an absolute shambles. Like they're talking about, there's no leadership in that club. You don't see or hear from David Sullivan over only a few emails. Karen Brady, they hardly ever see her. No one knows who's in charge, like who's actually running the operations of the club. Like they put another person in charge. They have such a high turnover of staff. People get leaving, and they promote someone else, and that person they promoted is completely left abandoned and just don't know what the hell to do. And this is going to be an ongoing thing. Like when I read that, it really just hit home. Like we talk about the football side, but just the general run of the club from top to bottom. Like there's no leadership at this club. It's rudderless, and as long as they're in charge, it's going to be the same. So it's always going to be, whether we'll be better next year, we'll always end up back here while they're in charge. So something's got to change.
I've heard that about Brady as well. I heard that she isn't there very often. And she's got her fingers in so many pies, and we pay her a lot of money.
She does a Sun article, The Apprentice. Her people say, oh, no, she works for West Ham at different locations. That's why I don't see her. Bollocks.
She's in politics, I believe. She goes...
Yeah, she is. She's a baroness.
Yeah, so, like, it's like £1.5 million a year we pay her, and it seems like she ain't even doing her job now, you know what I mean? But it's a bit like most clubs, isn't it? Like, the boss is a recluse. He locks himself in his office 24/7. He's in his house. He's fucking barricaded up. He ain't coming out there to go to work. He's in his 80s now, I think. You know what I mean? Like, and when the cat's away, as they say, the mice will play. So people are going to be, he ain't got a fucking clue what's going on now. He trusts her with it. She ain't coming in. Like, at the end of the day, it's a football club, and at the end of the day, it runs its fucking self. You know what I mean? In terms of merchandise and things like that. And You know, it's a shambles the way it's run. It's a shambles, and it's criminal, and it's one of them things. We're a polished turd. That's what we are. We're a polished turd. On the outside of it, and everything's all shiny and looking new, but inside of it, it's rotten to the fucking core, and there's a lot of corn and fucking carrots in there. That's the fucking problem.
We talk about leadership, the lack of leadership on the pitch. There's a lack of leadership, off the pitch and in the club, and that I think is why we are in this mess. Because if your club's not being run properly, it filters down to the pitch. It filters down to your recruitment and how you get managers, and this just complete disharmony in the boardroom between Kretinsky. No one knows what he's doing. You've got Sullivan, you've got all these other people, but it's that lack of leadership as a business, which is why we're a poorly run business, as well as being a poorly run football team. And it just leads itself to being a show. You need that ownership to come down and say to everyone, right, let's fucking sort this out. Right, this person's not doing their job. You're out. Right, you're in. This is what you need to do. Just something there of leadership. So we've got to keep up the job. Hopefully the lads do it on the pitch and we can skim it, but we never give up getting.
I'll tell you how good they are at their jobs. Ryan found this yesterday. We're all looking forward to that London derby next Saturday against Sunderland.
Yeah, but this is it though, isn't it? But because there's so much disharmony, and apparently the morale is so low because they were talking about they cancelled the staff Christmas party. Right in at Christmas, right? Which everyone's miserable. Which I know fans will go, well, we're shit. Like, why should they have a Christmas party? Well, they're the staff, mate. They're the business side. They're not fucking shit on the pitch.
Yeah.
But like they've said no because it will look bad. Like morale. So I know we can look at it and go like, you're a disgrace for doing that. Sunderland London derby, you're shit. Be sacked. But it just sounds like everyone's miserable, low morale. No leadership.
Sound weird, right? When like football clubs get relegated from the Premier League, they've got players on hundreds of thousands of pounds a week, right? And like when you see clubs that go down, they go, oh yeah, and like the tea lady had to get made redundant, and the biscuit man had to get made redundant, and we couldn't, after fucking office stuff. And I'm like, how much can that realistically cost? Like you're talking about saving like a couple of $100,000 a year. Maybe probably up to £1 million, right? And in the grand scheme of things in football, that's like 2 months' wages for one player. Like, why do they always go for the office staff? Like, surely, as a club, you want to keep your fucking office staff. I've never understood that.
Easy people to get rid of. It's just easy to get rid of them, right?
Because what realistically are you fucking doing by taking $35,000 a year off of a tea lady? Like, what are you saving? It's not even one day's wages for some of these players.
Yeah, but it all adds up. That's why Jim Ratcliffe, wasn't he? He was fucking sacking off everyone. He was because all these little bits add up. And I'm not saying I agree with it. Keep the fucking tea lady, whatever. But that's what it is. It all adds up. So as a business, you think, do we need a tea lady? No, we don't. So we'll say 35.
It said it all. I remember when in COVID, Arsenal, who getting a lot of praise for the way they run and all that, sacked all of their fucking office staff and give Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang a raise.
They sacked Gunnosaurus. Sacked Gunnosaurus.
Yeah, but don't forget, during that as well, is West Ham kept all their staff, and they got praised for that. So, look, I understand and I completely agree with you. Like, you can't go. You're not going to go down to the change room and make Danny Ings redundant, are you? The people that get hurt are the ones, the other staff that you never see. The heroes behind the scenes. You said about a biscuit man. If we're employing someone to give out biscuits, then that's the state of the club there. Fucking, I'll do that job. If someone wants their custard creams, I'll do that for $50,000 a year. No problem. But yeah, look, it's a state of a club at the moment. We've known it for a long time, but we just got to get it right on the pitch and see it through this season. And hopefully, we are a Premier League team next season, and then we can just go again. And hopefully, it sorts itself out. It's going to take a long time to sort itself out with this club off the pitch. But yeah, look, the manager and the players, all they're worried about is results. They turn up and train. They turn up on a match day to win games. They're not worried if Brady's there, Sullivan's there, Smith's there, Kretinsky's there, the tea lady, the biscuit man, the Bovril man. Pot noodle man.
Do you know what the fucking mad thing is, right? Is I woke up, obviously I was buzzing yesterday. It was fucking buzzing over there. But I woke up this morning with the arsehole. One, because I've got a fucking bad cough. But second, right, is I think I sit there and think to myself, why didn't we just do this about 10 games ago? Why didn't we just fucking do this 10 games ago? Then it would not be in this fucking mess. Like,
it's football, isn't it? You know,
I know.
And Spurs are shit, mate. Spurs are shit.
Yeah. I mean, like, you think about it, there's fucking 20 Premier League teams every season. You could have 20 billionaire owners. 3 are still going to get relegated. Yeah. One's only going to win the league. You know what I mean? So it's just how, I don't know. I was happy this morning when I woke up. Always good to get a win. 2 weekends in a row. 1. 2 London derbies. So
it's one of them ones where just, you know, it makes it, you know, all of this fucking talk about the cup final and all of this sort of thing, it makes it look fucking even more solidified, and you know, and it ain't fucking true.
As I said yesterday, if we won yesterday, which was a great win, but if Forest would have beat Arsenal, it would have counted for nothing because there'd have still been the 7-point gap. You know, I wish Arsenal would have got a winner yesterday and it would have been down to 4 points, but 5 is better than 7. So, yeah, all we've got to do now is just try to find 2 more wins than Nottingham Forest this season, and we're a Premier League team.
Just chip away. So, yeah, let's hope we do it. Like I said, enjoy the win. We won't get carried away. Let's see what the boys do next week. We got Sunderland, then we got Chelsea. So we still got some tough games coming up to play. So that's going to be.
We've got Burnley and Bournemouth coming up as well, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
Yeah. So
I'm sure we got Liverpool as well again, haven't we? Soon.
I mean,
Liverpool.
Going to Anfield, it don't seem a tough thing at the moment. I mean, Burnley went there yesterday, got a point. You know, played well.
Yeah. Like I've always said, like I'll start believing in this team when I see more. Like I said, that was a good result, but worst team I've seen us play against, very fine margin. So they still got more to prove, this team, before I start believing we can go to Anfield, even as a shit Liverpool team.
As Thomas Frank said in his press conference at Spurs when he joined them, we are going to lose games this season. That's a guarantee. We're not going to win every single game from now until the end of the season. But it's how we bounce back from defeats, and we've got to just start turning these draws into wins.
Yeah, yes.
I'm going to say this before I go. I feel a bit sorry for Thomas Frank. I feel a bit sorry for him.
Why he picked Spurs? Like we should have stayed at Brentford. I can't feel sorry for anyone that goes there.
They've got a lot of injuries, man. I was looking at their players that are out yesterday. They've got a fucking lot of injuries. Like, I think anyone can struggle.
Yeah, but I just think he plays. Doesn't matter what it is. He just plays like just really shit football, even before the injuries. Like I always thought he was a little bit more adaptable. But I look at even by the stats yesterday, right? Well, if you don't believe in XG, I understand. It's just a little thing. But we had like over 1 XG more than them. They had like 1 point something. We had 2 point something. Yeah. Even though they had like slightly more shots, but their shots, they were just smashing them over the bar, smashing them wide. There was nowhere. There was not really like clear-cut chances. They were just having a go because of how he sets them up. Like his approach, he's very pragmatic. Like he started up like on the back foot, like setting up defensive, and it's like if you're a Spurs fan,
they play like us. I see a lot of similarities with them and us yesterday. They play like us, sideways, backwards. They do play like us, but as I said before, I do feel a bit sorry for him because he's got a lot of injuries. I don't feel sorry for Tottenham. I feel sorry for Frank. You know, like he's being thrown under the bus a little bit. They think they're better than what they are. You know, they think they're better than what they are. You know,
Spurs, like you look back in the last 10 years, you go back. There've been times where they've challenged for the title, getting in the Champions League regularly. They got the Champions League final. You know. They had Harry Kane, one of the best strikers in the world. You look, they had Eriksen, Modric, Dembele. You know, their team has just slowly declined, and like they're just getting worse and worse. And the last 3 seasons, it's proved it, especially last season under big games. Look, I said it's similar to the season we had under David Moyes when we won the Conference League. you forget about it because you win a trophy, and you think you're going to go again next season, and then like they've just had the same. They've not invested. They've not brought in the same. I look at them and they've got no leaders on their pitch. I look around Tottenham yesterday, I'm thinking, who is their leader? Who is their captain? You know, who's the one giving the instructions? And it's Son's another player. You know, when he was in his peak, he was one of the best in the world. And they've just lost all them sort of players and not replaced.
That's the issue. Is they think it's 2015 still, and they talk like it's 2015. And like when we was talking about Kudus at the beginning of the season, I was like, why the fuck would he want to go to them? Like they're not that fucking good. Because we're in the Champions League, mate. We were 17th one time last season. I'll tell you what, mate. They've 3 more wins and they're in fucking trouble. 3 more wins.
I posted a picture on Twitter yesterday of Ange and Daniel Levy and said, be careful what you wish for, Spurs fans. Yeah, which obviously didn't go down well. But because I want to see the same energy that we get as West Ham fans from the media to Spurs, right? Because under Daniel Levy, when he was there, they got Champions League final, compete for trophies, consistent Champions League. Under Big Ange, won a European trophy, all of that, right? They didn't want Daniel. They celebrated when Daniel Levy was there. They wanted him out. They wanted Ange out. So I want to see all the careful what you wish for stuff.
Hold on a minute, right? Listen to this, right? Damien Domingo says, missing their top goal scorer yesterday, Kudus and Paulinho, right? They've got good players, Spurs, right? Mate, you think about what they've got, what they had in 2015. You're thinking that fucking, who is it? Their top goal scorer? Rich Arlison, who they fucking wanted rid of last year, that was going to go back to fucking Saudi or to Brazil. Kudus, who he's been the best of a bad bunch. He ain't been that fucking impressive. And Paulinho, and that's what they've got, and that's what they're comparing it. They're not that fucking good, mate. Like, they ain't that good. And if you take them 3 out of the team and they're as bad as they are, they really ain't that fucking good.
I don't think he was saying that this team is as good as that team, the 2015 and all of that.
I'm not saying it, but I don't think they're good players. I don't think they're really good players.
No, but they're difference makers. Like, with them players, they're better than they are without them players. So, and that's why we have to take. Of course, they are better. Of course, they're better with them players. You just said it. You just said you feel sorry for Frank.
I just said that. I said they're better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what? That's what he's saying, which is right.
They're better, but it ain't night and day.
No.
Difference between relegation threatened and title contenders.
No, 100%. Like, to me,
at best.
Yeah. I think with a full fit squad, they're mid-table team. Like, I agree. But that is a reason why, though, right? Because they are missing key players. Why we need to not get carried away after that result and wait to see. Take the positivity and all the glory around it, but let's see, because
I was just about to say exactly what this comment says. Like, I fucking love it. It don't bother me. I love seeing them in that situation. Couldn't give 2 shits about them. So they laugh at us.
The thing that winds me up about them the most, they're the bullied little brother, aren't they? And we're the littlest brother. And what it is they look up the top of the league and they see Arsenal up there and they're doing shit and they're really, really bad. And it fucking is, it pains them to see it all. And they look down at us and go, oh, well, at least you're having a shitter season than us. At least you fucker. It's brilliant watching you fuckers. Mate, 3 more please. 3 more wins and 3 more fucking losses. It honestly, and we'd be right up there.
It would be
3 more wins, 3 more losses. That's all it takes. That's all it takes.
They've got tough games coming up.
Is your room getting darker and darker, or is it my eyes?
Yeah, what is going on? Why is it so dark?
Because it's natural light coming through there, because I haven't got a curtain yet. So as it's getting darker, the lights are dim. I can turn the lights up.
Yeah, I was going to say, it was so dark even at the start.
There you go.
But, look, as we said, Spurs have got Burnley away coming up. They've got Man City, Man United, Arsenal, Newcastle. Yeah, look, but let's laugh at them when we're above them. Let's try
I
would love it, though. I would fucking love it. I would.
Yeah, because listen, they've been like, look, I've done watch-alongs all season. Spurs fans have been in there all season, in our Friday night pints, in our post-match pints. Like, they've been in our mentions relentlessly all season, right? Loving it. So let's just hope that they get their just rewards. But yeah, like I said, overall, in isolation, happy with the result, happy with the first half performance, and listen, last minute winner, that's the best way to win it against them. So brilliant. I think we've got the third most wins at their ground or something. I saw a stat, like their new ground, like out of all the clubs, we've won there.
Chelsea and Villa, I think they've got more wins there than us.
Yeah, which is good. Yeah, we were the first team to win there as well,
and we were the 50th team to win there as well. That was their 50th defeat at that stadium yesterday.
50.
So we'll see you at the 100.
Where are they all today?
Yeah, like I haven't seen a single one.
Fucking funny, and it's not that entertaining when you're on a fucking.
Did you see? Shout out to Day Spurs. He's a regular in this. Did you see the super chat he sent in at the start of the game? I posted it.
No.
He sent a super chat in, and he said, "Thanks for the 3 points, losers. 5-0 incoming." To be fair, he did come back at the end of the game, but it was just so Spursy, mate. I loved it. Shout out to Day.
So not only did we get 3 points off of him, you got a bit of money out of him as well. So fair play.
Yeah, insult to injury.
I'd have given me his father back.
I think he actually sent another super chat in at the end of the game. Go, oh, there you go. Like, fucking enjoy your win. Blah blah blah. You're going down.
No,
I was like,
no refunds. No refunds.
No refunds, especially for Spurs fans.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's crack up. Thank you very much for watching this edition of West Ham Fan TV's post-match pint. Go and watch all the fan cams from yesterday. I was going to do a morning after the game before this morning, but I woke up with a nasty cough, so I might do one in the morning. Might do something in the morning. So
the morning after.
The morning after the weekend. Yeah. And yeah, so go and check out our sponsors. OK Jerseys. You can get 10% off with your discount code Nicky10. And long may this winning streak continue. We don't say that very often. Thank you very much. Subscribe if you're new. One thing left to say. Come on, you irons.